Hi, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. There's a lot of scholarship that indicates that learners are more engaged in their education, more motivated, and learn more when they have agency in determining the what and how of their learning. This alone is compelling reason to provide choices to learners in some of the content that they use and in how they demonstrate achievement of learning outcomes. But providing learners with choices is also important for establishing equitable educational platforms in which all students can succeed. Our students have different academic strengths and weaknesses that are not directly related to their achievement of the learning outcomes in our courses, so providing them with choices about how to most effectively demonstrate their learning is important. This week, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the logistics of providing students with choices in Canvas. There are three ways to do it, and they each have strengths and weaknesses. First, let's look at the easiest option. If you make an assignment in Canvas, you can simply provide instructions for multiple options in that assignment. This works best in assignments that measure the achievement of specific learning outcomes in which the learner's work, no matter what form it takes, can be evaluated using the same detailed rubric. It has an advantage of providing one-stop shopping for learners, so there isn't any confusion about having choices of different assignments. Difficulties with this can arise if there are detailed instructions for each option, since the instructions may become muddled and confusing from the student's perspective. Because all students are doing something a little bit different, peer reviews may be more difficult for students in this type of assignment structure. Finally, from the instructor perspective, grading can be a bit more difficult since a variety of types of assignments will be mixed together, which will make consistency in application of the rubric a little bit trickier. What would this look like in Canvas? Here we see the assignment in a module. When the student accesses the assignment, all of the options will be displayed in the same location. The key to making this work is to begin with a highly detailed rubric that's applicable to multiple forms of assignments. Not only will it improve your grading consistency, it will provide students with information on what's important to show in their work. The second option is to provide different assignments within a single assignment group, dropping all scores but one. This is a great option if you're planning to use peer reviews. It ensures that learners will review assignments that are similar to their own, making the review potentially a bit easier and more valuable to improving their own work. A couple of advantages are that you can use slightly different rubrics tailored to the specific form of the student work. You'll be grading like assignments together, which will make consistency easier. There's also less possibility of learners experiencing instruction confusion since each option provided has separate instructions. On the downside, the complexity of the Canvas display is increased, so students may become confused about what they need to do and what they don't need to do. And your setup time is going to be greater. In Canvas, this might look something like this. Within a single module, there will be multiple assignments shown. These assignments form a single assignment group, which we can see in the Assignments tab. Here, I've set the rules of this assignment group to drop the three lowest scores, in other words, to keep only one score. From the student view, you can see that this complex display might mislead students into doing multiple assignments. I tried to decrease that risk by providing an explanatory launch page. The final option for providing learners with choices in Canvas involves a feature called Mastery Paths. Mastery Paths is a great tool for providing individualized instruction. It can be used to provide different activities for students at different levels of proficiency, helping to support their development. In this case, we're using it to differentiate assignments based on the learner's main interests or career goals. This is best used when there are sets of assignments that should be provided together. The big advantages of this approach include linking specific content choices to learning activities as part of providing individualized instruction and a personalized learning experience. This is a great feature to use if you want to play around with contract grading. The drawbacks of this option are that the organization in Canvas can be pretty hairy. It takes a lot more time to set up, and once students have chosen a learning path, it can be difficult to change. So what does this look like in Canvas? In the instructor view, notice I've set up a module with a decision-making quiz. The results of the quiz will determine the student path. In this module, there are three options for assignments, differentiated by their focus on application questions. These assignments are followed by discussion, also differentiated. At the end, the learners all take the same quiz. Notice in the student view how different the display is. None of the options are visible, just the quiz. The students take the quiz and thereby choose their path. When they return to the home screen, the assignments I've added to that learning path are visible. One important thing to know is that the Mastery Paths feature is not automatically active in your course. You need to activate it in the Settings menu. Allowing students to choose the manner in which they fulfill course requirements improves student engagement and valuation of assignments. Canvas gives us several options to organize student choices. If you'd like help implementing any of these in your courses, the CITL staff would be happy to assist you. And that's this week's teaching tip, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning at UWSP, your one-stop shop for teaching support. Visit our website to schedule a consultation for help with course design, learning activities, assessment, or pedagogy.